Hello. Hi, Celine.
Hi, profe. Hi, teacher.
Hello. It's okay. Good afternoon, Celine. My name is Alex, and today is the review of all of the units from Unit 1 to Unit 12 to help you prepare for the final exam, okay? All right, Celine, so let's begin so we can help you prepare. Here we have the first activity. So let's begin by taking a look at the different tenses. What's the difference between the simple and the continuous form? So Celine, I'm going to ask you to please read the instructions here. Can you read the instructions here?
Choose the correct tense to complete the sentence.
Excellent. So here we have an example. For instance, it says, I have won or won a medal when I was in elementary school. So in this case, because this is an action in the past, we're going to use the simple past. So I'm going to highlight here, I won. What about number 2, Celine? Can you take a look and read number 2? How can we complete number 2?
I I was practicing for a marathon before this class started.
Excellent. I was practicing. Very good. Something that happened before the class started. Perfect. Number 3. I'll do number 3. We'll take turns and we'll complete this together, okay? So number 3 says, I am studying or have been studying English for more than 10 years. In this case, we see the example for more than 10 years. So we know that this is going to be a continuous action, started in the past and continues in the present. Okay. What about number 4? How can we complete number 4?
I usually get a lot of like for posts on social media.
Excellent. Very good. This is a habit. This is something that is customary that happens from time to time. So we can't use the past. It has to be the present. I usually get. Number 5 says, I am saving or I save money to go on vacation next year. This one is a continuous because we're talking about the future for next year. And then we have one more, Celine. What about number 6? How can we complete number 6?
And I have never been afraid of anything.
Fantastic. All right, Celine. So here we have the simple tenses, okay? For example, the simple past or the simple present. And then we have the continuous form for things that are in progress, maybe started in the past and continue in the present. Is that okay, Celine? Any questions?
No, teacher.
All right, let's continue. Let's erase and we'll continue with the next one. 1 second. Okay, so here I'm going to ask you, Celine, to please read the instructions at the beginning. It says, check your answers.
Check your answers. Then match the sentence to what tense describe.
Describe. Very good. All right, so we already established that this was the simple past. I won a medal when I was in elementary school. Now here, this is going to be an example of, let's see, a completed action in the past. So here, I'm going to put letter C, okay? We can cross this out. What about number 2? How can we complete number 2? I was practicing for a marathon before this class started. What do you think, Celine?
B. An action in progress in the past.
Excellent, very good. So let's put here B, and we'll eliminate B. Perfect. Number 3, I will help you with number 3. Number 3 says, I have been studying English for more than 10 years. Okay, this one is going to be F, an action that started in the past and still is continuing. So this is F. We'll cross out F. What about number 4, Celine? How can we complete number 4?
Mm. D.
Excellent.
Habit or repeat action in the present.
Excellent. This is something habitual, something that happens over and over, usually the simple present. I'll help you with the next one. I am saving money to go on vacation next year. This is going to be, we'll eliminate here. This one is going to be an action in the future. I am saving money. Oh, this is progress. So this would be A, in the progress at the moment, I am saving money. Okay. And then finally, go ahead and complete the last one. I have never.
E. Past
Ex
experience with no specific past time given.
exactly. This is kind of just like an experience. We use the present perfect. I have never been, kind of to describe an experience, non-specific. We don't say the time. Okay. What do you think, Celine? Is this okay? So?
Yeah, it's
Great.
okay.
All right, Celine. So we're going to erase and we're going to continue. Here we have the next one. The next one says dynamic and stative verbs. So I'm going to ask you, Celine, to please read the instructions here. Look at
The verb in the pair or sentence what the difference in meaning.
meaning. Very good. So I'll help you with the first one, Celine. The first one says, I love chocolate cake, or I'm loving this chocolate cake. So here, this is going to be a fact, or maybe the present tense. And then this one here is going to be action happening at the moment, or maybe in the moment. We'll just put action happening, something that's happening in the moment, okay? All right, what about number 2? Celine, can you read number 2?
She studies really hard for her exam.
Very good.
Is state.
Yeah, this is a statement, right? This is a statement. This is a statement, something that's happening in the present, the simple present. And then what about B? She's studying?
She is studying really hard for her exam.
All right.
Is
What?
Dynamic.
It's dynamic. Exactly. This would be a dynamic, something that's happening at the moment. Very good. And then I'll help you with the last one. The last one here, Celine, would be, I think swimming is a great sport. So here we have the first one. I think is going to be the stated verb. And then I am thinking of going swimming. That one is the dynamic. You're in process of thinking about doing something, okay? What do you think, Celine? So we have dynamic and stated verbs. Is that any questions? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, Celine, now because you're the only one here, it's good because you're going to get plenty of practice, but maybe we start to go too fast. But if we go too fast, just say, teacher, I don't understand. And we can explain and we can practice. So please let me know if you don't understand something, okay?
Yes.
All right, let's erase and we will continue. Here we have real conditionals. So I am going to read the instructions. It says, read sentences A to D and answer the questions. So let's read the first ones. Uh-oh, my arrow is going crazy. Let's go with number one, Celine. Which sentence?
Which sentence is talking about something that is generally true?
Okay. Number two, I will help you with number two. Which sentences are talking about a future result or prediction? And then number three, Celine.
Which sentence is giving advice or instruction?
Excellent. So here we have multiple options. So the options are A, B, C, and D. Let's look at A. If you like spicy food, you will love these tacos. That looks delicious. All right, let's see. Celine, do you like tacos?
Yes.
Nice. All right. Spicy tacos or regular tacos?
Regular taco.
All right, regular tacos it is. All right, Celine. So which one do you think this is? A is 1, 2, or 3? If not, we can continue and we can come back and we can complete it later, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go with B. Sorry?
The literal A is with one part.
Number 1. With number 1, like this. So this is A, right?
Yes.
Exactly. You can see, Celine, you can see that something that is generally true is you will love these tacos. That's something that's generally true, normally true. All right, let's go with B. Can you read B here?
If you have some old fruit, don't waste it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yes. It's a rodent.
This one is the third one. I think this one is here, Celine. Giving advice or instructions. So when we give advice or instructions, I think this one would be B, okay?
3.
Very good. All right, I'll read the next one. I'll do the next one. The next one says, if you don't eat, you might be hungry later. If you don't eat,
2.
Yeah, excellent, Celine. This is 2. And that means that this last one is 2. If you order too much food, you can ask for a doggy bag. If you order too much food, I guess it could be. This one could be D as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we just have real conditionals. Remember that a real conditional is always going to be with the regular tense, okay? Any questions, Celine?
Um, uh, what does the meaning doggy?
Doggy bag. A doggy bag is the name of a paper bag where you can put the food to take home.
Uh,
And it also means like a doggy, like a beautiful doggy, a small doggy, an animal, right? But when you say doggy bag, it's the bag to take out, okay?
it's kind of bag of meal.
Exactly. It's a bag for food at the restaurant.
Uh,
They give you a doggy bag at the restaurant to take the food home. Okay?
yes.
All right. Let's erase and we can continue. Here we have grammar. So it says clauses with after, until, and when. So I'm going to ask you to please read the instructions here. Celine, choose.
Choose the correct verb forms to complete a sentence from a recipe. Note that they are about seconds of events in the future.
Okay, so we're talking about a sequence of events in the future. So let's choose the correct one. I'll help you with the first one. I'll do the example. It says, after you boil or will boil the rice for 8 minutes, it is or will be ready. So I think the answer here would be, after you boil the rice for 8 minutes, it will be ready. What about number 2? How can we complete number 2, Celine?
You will have to wait another few minutes until the fish and vegetables are um, are cooked.
Excellent. Remember that the ED we pronounce like a T, Celine. Cooked. Cooked.
Cooked.
Exactly. You will have to wait another few minutes until the fish and vegetables are cooked. Okay? And we have one more, Celine. What about this one? How can we complete this one? Your family
Your family fall in love with this dish when they try it.
Very good. When they, and then we just have the regular. This one is try. When they try it. What is your favorite dish, Celine? What's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish is the fritada.
Oh, fritada is good. All right. Where are you from, Celine? Are you from Quito?
No, I am from Guayaquil.
Oh, you're from Guayaquil. Okay, nice. All right, Celine. Any questions about after, until, and when? Is this okay?
Yes.
All right. So let's erase and we can continue. So here we have to and enough. Complete the text with to and enough. So let's talk a little bit about the first one. Celine, when we say too, it's when something is exaggerated, something is overabundant, right? And then when we say enough, enough is perfect. Enough is the right amount, okay? So let's see if we can complete, maybe here we can put like, let's put a little sign here, 1 second. Maybe this means that,
Mm, 1
let-
week,
okay,
1 weekdays, I spent too much time sit down.
excellent, very good. Too much time sitting down. I don't
I don't have I don't have time to exercise.
So here, we usually, when we have a negative sentence, Celine, when you see negative, I don't, we're usually going to say enough, okay?
Okay.
So here you can say enough, enough. So let's repeat, Celine. I don't have enough time to exercise.
I don't have enough time to exercise.
Very good. I'll help you with the next one. And I'm usually too tired after a long day at work. What about number 4? How can we complete number 4, Celine?
Um,
Luckily,
Luckily, in the weekend, it's not bad.
oh, all right. So this is an expression, Celine. Even though this is a negative sentence, I know I just said that this is negative, but the expression is, it's not too bad. This is an expression, okay? So the expression, it's not too bad, okay?
Yeah. Teacher,
Yeah,
that this class, I don't understand.
okay. Let's practice. So we can practice. So when we translate to into Spanish, it's demasiado, right? So always when we use
Yes.
to, it has to be something that's like overabundant and it makes something negative. For example, demasiado calor, demasiado trabajo, demasiado deberes, demasiado estrés. It's always something bad. Siempre tiene que ser malo, okay? When we use enough, enough, on the other hand, is going to be perfect, right? Enough is perfect. So in this case, the expressions, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough work, sería suficiente, right? So you can say, I don't have enough money, no tengo suficiente dinero. I don't have enough free time, no tengo suficiente tiempo libre. So, suficiente y demasiado, okay?
Okay.
All right, so try to think of it like that, like enough is just suficiente, and then too exaggerated, but usually something negative, okay? All right, so what about number 5, Celine? How can we complete number 5? I have,
I I have enough time
yeah,
for everything exercise.
yep, I have enough time for everything. Exercise, family, friends, and fun. Suficiente, right? Suficiente tiempo. And what about the last one? And that is,
And that it's good. good enough.
Yeah, excellent. And that is good enough for me. So, Celine, one of the best things that you can do to practice vocabulary is to use it in your own sentences, in your own examples. So let's see if we can come up with maybe a few examples of using to, not to, enough, and not enough. So my example is I have too many things to do today, right? This is negative. I have too many things to do today, right? And I already have enough problems. I don't need more problems, right? I have too many things to do and I already have enough problems. Can you think of two examples, Celine? One example with two and maybe one example with enough. It could be affirmative or negative, okay?
The negative example is the first.
But maybe your example, Celine. Can you think of an example, you?
Um,
You give me an example.
okay. I have too many assignments for this semester.
Excellent. Very good. I have too many assignments for this semester. Very good. What do you study, Celine? Are you studying psychology? Are you studying education? What are you studying?
And business administration.
Business administration. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what about one example using enough? It could be not enough or enough.
Mm, mm, I don't have enough time to sleep.
Excellent. I don't have enough time to sleep. Excellent. Very good. So remember, enough, suficiente, too, demasiado. Is that better, Celine? Do you understand now? So?
Can you repeat, please?
Is this okay? Is it better now?
Yeah, I understand better.
Excellent. Good, Celine. Very good. All right, so I'm going
Thank you,
to
teacher.
erase. You're welcome. I'm going to erase and we're going to continue to the next one. So here it says grammar, modifying comparisons. Let's read the instructions. Here, Celine, complete.
Complete the review of the cafe with fine modifier from the box. More than one answer is usually possible.
Very good. So very important that you understand that there are multiple answers, okay? So we can have more than one answer is usually possible. So let's do it together. I will help you and then we can do it together. So it says, I love it. I usually go in the morning. It's much quieter and I can get a lot of work done. I'm going to put much here, okay? What about the next one? How can you complete the next one, Celine? In the afternoon,
in the afternoon, they place it mm, mm, a little busier and mm, mm, well, a lot noisier.
Excellent. A whole lot noisier, but it's still worth it, right? And remember that you can change this. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. If you wanted to, you could say it's a little bit quieter, it's much busier, it's a whole lot busier and much noisier. So you can switch it, Celine, and it still makes sense, okay? But let's leave
Okay.
it how we had it. This makes perfect sense. This is perfect. All right, the next one. The next one says, I go there for the coffee almost every day. It's really good. And the cinnamon buns are the best in town. Maybe you could say, the cinnamon buns are maybe almost by far. Let's use by far. By far the best in town. Okay, go ahead and continue. You really have to try them. Go ahead and read the last part here, Celine.
I generally stay for 3 or 4 hours, so I paying $15 or more, and I usually only have 1 cup of coffee, which make it a pretty expensive cup of coffee,
Wow.
but it's definitely the uh definitely in it's
So here we can actually, let's do the process of elimination. So we used a little, we used a whole lot more, we used by
much.
far. But it's definitely much as, there's a better option, Celine. Maybe, I think it's this one, Celine. Nowhere near. When we say nowhere near, it's no tanto como, o no es ni cerca a, as expensive as renting an office space. Okay. So here,
Nearly 2.
cercamente, nearly, cerca, o cercamente, right? So let me give you an example. An example could be, I nearly lost my dog at the beach. I nearly lost my dog at the beach. Casi, right? Casi perdí mi perro en la playa. Okay? All right.
Yes.
All right. So a little bit, let's practice. Let's see. So we have a little bit, un poco, a bit, también un poco, a whole lot, mucho más, o mucho, almost, casi, by far, por mucho. So much, mucho, nearly, casi, nowhere near, ni. I don't know how to say this in Spanish, Celine. Maybe this is like ni siquiera cerca o ni siquiera como que nowhere near is como que no está cerca, okay? All right. Any questions, Celine? Is that okay?
So.
So, that's good. So is better than not okay. So make sure to practice, Celine. Practice, a little bit, a whole lot, almost, by far, and much. Let's erase and we can continue. Here we have the next one. It says modifying comparisons. Let's read the instructions here. Celine, compare the products.
Compare the product and service using modifiers and the adjective in the boxes. Make at least 3 different comparisons for each item.
Exactly. So we're going to use the different adjectives in the boxes and we can make some comparisons. I'll do the first example. So number 1 is a burger from a fast food restaurant, a burger from a local restaurant, and a gourmet burger at a 5-star restaurant. So you can say something like you can say something like a fast food restaurant, a fast food burger is nowhere near a gourmet burger. Okay, so this is the comparison using the examples that we had before. Is nowhere near a gourmet burger. Can you think of an example? Maybe fast food, local restaurant, and a gourmet burger using cheap, expensive, or delicious.
The
I forgot to put here, Celine, nowhere near as delicious, as a gourmet burger, because we have to use the adjectives that we have here. So we have to use delicious, expensive, or cheap. So if you look at the examples, we have a little bit, much, a whole lot, right? So you can use one of the expressions that we had in the other one, okay? A bit, maybe.
Yes. The ceviche. Can I other food?
Yeah, absolutely. Ceviche.
Yeah. Yeah. The ceviche is the ceviche is more no the encebollado
Okay,
is more expensive than ceviche.
excellent. It's much more expensive than a ceviche. All right, I'm going to put it here in the chat. So look at the chat. You remember that you have to use the modifying comparisons, okay? So when we use the modifying comparisons, these guys, you have to use one of the expressions that we had here. So you have to use a little bit, a whole, almost. So you can say something like a encebollado is a bit cheaper than ceviche. A bit Cheaper than ceviche. Okay. So make sure to use one of the ones that we have there. Okay. All right. Let's do one more example, Celine. Maybe we can talk about we can talk about clothes. We can talk about shoes, sandals, shorts, jackets, maybe a hat. Cheap, comfortable, expensive, and fashionable. I think a pair of black pants is a whole lot more fashionable than, I don't know, yellow pants. Let's say yellow pants, okay? So here's my example in the chat. A pair of black pants is a whole lot more fashionable than yellow pants. Can you think of an example about clothes?
Yeah, the sandals is more comfortable than shoes or high heels.
Excellent, very good. Sandals are, remember, remember to use the modifier, okay? So sandals are much more comfortable, are much more comfortable than high heels. That I imagine is very, very true. Very good. Comfortable. All right, so let's repeat. Let's repeat, Celine. Sandals are much more comfortable than high heels.
Sandals are much more comfortable than high heels.
Perfect. Okay. So just remember when you have to do this on the exam, Celine, you have to use these words, okay? When it tells you to use the modifiers, you have to use this, okay? A little bit, a whole lot, almost, by far, much, and then do the comparison, okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's erase and we'll continue. Here we have the next one. So now we're going to speculate. We're going to use the models to speculate. Let's read the instructions here together. Can you read this here, Celine? Look at
the photo. Read sentence 1, 3. Then match them to explanations A, C.
Very good. So I'll do the first one for you. The first one says, this store must sell sports merchandise.
The B.
Excellent. Very good. This is B because it's must. Must is sure. Very good. What about number 2, Celine?
It could be a general sports store. It's the speaker. The speaker is not sure this is true. A.
Excellent. Excellent, Celine. This one is A. And finally, those can't be formal clothes. This is a sports store, which would be C. The speaker is sure this is not true. So here's what we're going to focus on, Celine. We're going to focus on the models, okay? Must, could, and can't be, okay? Remember, when we're 100%, we use must, okay? When we're 50-50, a possibility, we use could. And when it's negative, it can't be, okay? Any questions?
Yes.
Alrighty.
No.
That was too easy for you, Celine. That was too easy. Here we have more models of speculation. So it says, what products are these slogans for? Let's speculate. So it says, let's read the example here. It says, it's fast,
It's fast, economical, and the easiest way to get from A to B.
very good. What do you think? So I'll give you the example. It says this could be a slogan for a airliner, an airliner, like maybe could be like Avianca or LATAM or something like that, right? It could be an airliner, an airliner. It can't be an ad for, it can't be an ad for, let's say, it can't be an airline for a donkey ride, right? It can't be an ad for a donkey ride because they're too slow. They are too slow. Okay? So that's what we have to do. We have to speculate and we have to use the slogan, okay? Can you think of an example, Celine?
Mm. And the parent ads.
Parent ads. What do you mean by parent ads?
No. The third question. Oh, the third.
If you want, we could do the first one or the second one. You choose, Celine. Do you want to do number 1 or number 2? You choose number 1 or number 2 or number 3.
Number 3.
Okay.
This may be a slogan for um, fitness restaurant or fitness cafeteria.
Yeah, absolutely. This may be a slogan for a restaurant, right? Or a cafe, right? A cafe or coffee shop, maybe. All right. What about this product must be
The product must be um, the product must be delicious because you can taste the trendy meal.
okay. So the food or the product must be delicious because you can taste trendy meals. Okay, no problem. That is good. All right, Celine. So remember, the different models for speculation. What about if we're talking about speculating, maybe could be, can't be, must not be, might be, maybe, and must be again. So what about if we're speculating about maybe eating fritada every day, Celine? Is it okay to eat fritada every day?
Um,
It could be,
mhm.
it can't be, it must
Um,
be.
could be.
Maybe something like this. It could be dangerous for your health, right? How often do you eat fritada, Celine?
Mm, um, some I sometimes eat the Sundays or Saturday for
Okay,
breakfast.
nice, delicious, right? So
Yeah.
if you eat it every day, though, right? Once a week is okay. But if you eat it every day, it can be dangerous, right? It could be bad. All right.
Yeah.
Is this okay? Let's put bad. It could be bad for your health. Um, what do you think, Celine? Any questions? Is this okay?
And when when I uh, when I use can um,
Affirmative?
to mat not yes
Oh,
or
similar.
can or mat not yes.
It's kind of similar. Yeah. So there's not much of a difference if you say, she must not be a good dancer. This is one example. And then the next example, she can't be a good dancer. When we use can't be, this is more affirmative. So this is like 100%, right? And then when you say she must not be, maybe this is a little bit lower. Maybe this is like 90%, right? So you're very sure, but it's not as strong. So can't be, there's no possibility, right? No possibility. And must not be, it's just, it's strong, but not as strong, okay?
Yes, thank you,
All right,
teacher.
you're welcome. Any other questions? All right,
No,
let's erase and we're going to continue, Celine. So here we have Miss Lady Gaga. Do you know Lady Gaga?
no,
You don't know Lady Gaga. All right. Lady Gaga, she's famous.
no. Yes, yes.
Okay.
I saw if I like her.
Oh, okay, okay. But you know Lady Gaga, you just don't like her. Gotcha.
No,
What's your favorite type of music, Celine? Bad Bunny?
no, it's Morat and BTS
Okay. Oh, BTS. So you
and
like the K-pop. You like K-pop.
Sia too.
Okay, cool. All right, Celine. So let's go with the next one. The next one says subject and object relative clauses. Go ahead and read the instructions here. Complete.
complete the relative clauses with the current pronouns. More than one answer and usually possible.
Very good. So I'm going to help you with the first one, Celine. The first one says, comedians perform for live audiences are usually better entertainers. So because comedians is a person, right? Comedians is a person, he, she, we're going to put who,
Who?
okay? So comedians who perform for live audiences are usually better. So in this case, the subject and object relative clauses are going to be who and that, which and that. Okay, so this is going to be for things or objects, and this is going to be for people. Okay. All right, Celine. So how can we complete number 2?
Many photos that go viral are pictures of heroes or icons.
Excellent. Very good. The pronunciation, icons, kind of like iPhones, icons. Very good.
Icons.
Perfect. The next one says filmmakers. What do you think, filmmakers? Who or which?
Who?
Perfect. So it says filmmakers who are also producers create more successful movies. What's your favorite movie, Celine? Do you have a favorite movie?
Yes. It's Private Burgess Zombies.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. Is that a new movie or an old movie?
Can you repeat, please, teacher?
Yeah. Is it a new movie or an old movie?
It's new movie.
Okay. What's the name?
Um,
Zombies.
Pride Burgess Zombie. In the Spanish is Orgullo, Prejuicio y Zombies.
Oh my gosh. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombie. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that movie before. All right, I will watch it. Pride, Prejudice, Pride, and Zombies. All right, let's go with the next one, Celine. The next one is the performers. How can we complete this one?
The performance that people admire are usually from their own country.
Very good. Let's repeat admire, admire. Admire, okay? The performers that people admire.
The performance that people admire.
Admire.
Admire are usually from their own country.
Gotcha. All right, cool. And then we have one more. It says most of the clothes, and here we're going to use which. So just so you have an example, okay? Remember that for things, you can use which or that. So most of the clothes which models and other celebrities wear are by famous designers. So here you have the relative clauses. Who and that for people, which and that for things or objects, okay? What do you think, Celine? Easy peasy? No questions?
No, teacher.
All right, Let's erase and we can continue. Here we have the next one, past perfect. Let's read the instructions and we'll talk about the past perfect. Go ahead and read the question here.
Which action happened first in each sentence?
All right, so we have multiple actions. We have to see which one happened first. So I will help you with the first one. It says, by the time we arrived at the door of the old house, it had begun to rain. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put number 1. This was first. This was second. Okay. Always when we have the past perfect is going to be the first action. Okay. Past perfect
Yes.
equals first action. Okay. So let's take a look at number 2. Celine, go ahead and read number 2 and tell me which actions were first.
I looked out of the window and saw something. It's simple past is second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is second. And this is second. Or maybe it's third. Maybe it's fourth. It doesn't matter. But which one is first? Which one is first?
I had never seen before.
Excellent. This is the first action. Very good. Number 3. I'll read number 3 for you, Celine. When they met again by the lake in the park, they hadn't talked to each other for almost 10 years. Which was first? Which one's second?
When they met again by the lake in the park is second.
Excellent. And then first?
Yes. But perfect. They hadn't talked to each other for almost 10 years.
Excellent. So remember that the past perfect, Celine, is always going to be subject plus had plus past participle, okay? This is going to be the structure for the past perfect. Any questions, Celine? Is this okay?
Yes, teacher.
All righty. You're doing great, Celine. I think you're going to get 100 on the final exam. Yes? A perfect score. All right.
It's very complete.
No. You're going to do great, Celine. I'm confident. I'm very confident that you're going to do excellent on the final exam. Let's take a look at the next one. Here it says, was, were, going to, was, were, supposed to. So now we're talking about the past of the continuous form. So let's read the instructions here. Celine, can you read this? Complete.
Complete the main story with was, were, not going to, and was, were, not supposed to.
All right, let's review really quick. Going to is going to be, sorry about my dogs. Going to is going to be like a plan that was going to happen. And then supposed to, let's put that here. Going to equals plan. And then was, were, supposed to is going to be expected to. Expected to happen, okay? So usually when we use supposed to, it's because someone else or some other was expecting us to do something, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the first one. I'll do the example for you and then you can continue, okay? So Leo had great plans for tonight. He and his friends were going to, this was a plan, get together and celebrate his promotion. This was a plan that maybe happened or didn't happen. What about number 2? How can we complete number 2?
They mm, they were supposed to finish work at the usual time.
Perfect.
This fancy restaurant at 7.
Excellent. Very good. So this is expected, right? They expected to finish, but maybe something happened. Maybe there was some problems. Something might have happened. The next one said, Leo had it all planned. As he was working from home, Leo, what do you think? If he's going to take the 6 o'clock train, going to or supposed to?
Going to.
Yep. Was or were?
Was going to.
Excellent, right? Because something that you plan, especially a train is by the clock. It's a schedule. It has to be a plan. Very good. Go ahead and continue, Celine.
But of course, no plans are perfect. 5 minutes before he was supposed to leave for the station.
Perfect. His boss called. He answered the phone, but he did big mistake. What do you think?
He was
This one is going to be negative. He wasn't. Yeah.
Going to.
Excellent. Very good. So he wasn't going to answer, but he did. Big mistake. All right. So remember, supposed to, expected to. Going to is going to be a plan or an intention that you had. Is that okay, Celine? Any questions?
No, teacher.
Great.
I
understand.
I understand. Yeah.
All right. Very good. So let's erase and we can continue. Here we have the next one. It says grammar, reported questions. Report the questions. So let's begin by reading the questions here. Go ahead and read the first question here, Celine.
What do you usually click on when you're looking at social media?
Very good. So for reported questions, remember, we have to kind of change the verb tense, right? So what do you usually click on when you're looking at social media? And then you asked each other what, we need a subject, and then we have when you, and then we use the simple past. So we're going to change here the subject, what you, and then the verb we're going to change, right? So in this case, you asked each other what you clicked on when you were looking at social media. Actually, let's change that. What you clicked on when you were looking at, no at social media. Okay, so the important part here, Celine, is to make sure that you are going to include the subject. You're going to change the verbs to the past. Make sure to always change the verbs to the past. Are looking at, were looking at, okay?
Yeah.
All right. What about this one here? How can we complete this one? Go ahead and read this one.
But the subject is some possible consequence.
Sorry, Celine. You asked what?
What
Possible, you said?
possible consequence?
Consequence. Very good. What possible consequences, plural, of looking at clickbait are, right? We need the verb to be. We have to make sure that we follow the verb.
Where?
Very good. So, were. You asked what possible consequences of looking at clickbait were. Very good. And then we have one more, Celine. What about this one here? Let me help you with this one, Celine, because this one's a little different. So for yes and no questions, when we have WH, what, where, when, why, who, we report the question directly. But when we have yes or no questions, now we have to use if or whether. So you can say, finally, you asked each other if or whether clickbait annoyed you. Okay?
Okay.
So in this case, make sure that if it's a yes and no question, you're not going to ask what. You're going to use if or whether, and then just change the verb like you would for all of the other ones, okay? Any questions? Is that okay?
The last question is only having double impression true.
Yeah. So you can use either one. Both of them are correct. Whether or if. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Here, let's do one more practice. Let's erase, and we can do one more practice here on the next one. It says reported questions. Think of some questions that you were asked recently. Prepare to report the question and your answer. Check your accuracy as you do. For example, here we have the example here. Go ahead and read the example here, Celine. It says, a friend
asked me if I wanted to go to the movie tonight. I say yes.
Very good. So here you can say, a friend asked me if, so you can see that this is the reported question. You can see that they use if, and then they use the past, if I wanted to go to the movies. What about the next example? What about this one here? A guy
asked me where the tourist information office was. I didn't know.
Very good. So again, a guy asked me, and then we have the simple past. We have the simple past, and then the question word. A guy asked me where the tourist information was, okay? All right. What do you think, Celine? Any questions? Is this okay? Easy peasy?
Yeah, so.
All right. Just remember to change the verb, okay? Always change the verb. And here's something interesting. It says, when reporting questions, remember to use the word order an affirmative sentence would use. For example, she asked me what I did, not a question form. What did I do? We have to make sure that we use the affirmative form, okay? This part here is very important. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's erase, and you're doing great. Elaine, we just have a little bit more to go, okay? The next one says present unreal conditionals. Can you read the instructions here?
Do the sentence refer to a real or an imaginary situation? Do they refer to past situation, to a past situation?
Very good. So I'll help you with the first one. If I had a permanent full-time job, I would get a good salary. So we have a couple options here. We have real, imaginary, and do they refer to a past situation? Okay. So in this case, what do you think this one is here? The first one is going to be, what do you think? If I had a permanent job, I would get a good salary. This is going to be something that is imaginary, right? And
if imagine situation, if I have a permanent full-time job.
exactly, it's not real. I don't have one, right? This is not real. What about number two? Go ahead and read number two. If you want, we can put here.
If babysitting was a main job, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. What do you think? Imaginary or real?
Imaginary.
Exactly. Imaginary. And then the last one is going to be different. Celine, the last one is going to be different because now we use might. So maybe here, this one might be a little bit different. It says, I might get bored if I worked as a lifeguard. Actually, it's the same. It's also going to be imaginary. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the structure. The structure that we have, Celine, is going to be if plus the past of the verb, okay? So if I had, if I was, if I worked. So always if plus the past form, okay? And then here you can see the thing. In formal language, we use were for all subjects, including first and third person. Go ahead and read the example here, Celine. If I were
freelance, I would have more free time.
Exactly, right? Instead of using was, we use were because it's like formal language. In formal language, you can use was for first and third person. For example, go ahead and read the example here.
If the job was stressful, she wouldn't do it.
Excellent. So again, Remember the structure that we have. If plus the simple past, I plus would, etc. Okay? If plus the simple past, and then would plus the complement. Okay? This is the conditional clause, and then this is the result clause. Any questions, Celine?
No, I understand. Yeah.
Great.
For formal, and in first and 30%, you can use where for formal.
Everything. Yep.
So,
You can use where for all of the subjects. I, you, we, they. Where, right? If she were, if I were, if they were, always were.
Okay.
All
And
right.
informal, for third person and 30%, you can use was for informal.
Exactly. Yep. But it's always better to be formal than informal. Okay. So if you want to remember one, just remember the formal. Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right,
teacher.
Celine. You're welcome. Let's erase and let's practice. So here we have a little bit of practice. It says, what are the instructions here, Celine? Go ahead and read the instructions.
Look at the picture. Imagine working in that place. Give answers to the following question. How many sentences can you make?
Very good. So we'll begin with the first one. It says, if you worked here, what kind of job would you have? Oh my gosh. What do you think? Does this look like a good place to work, Celine?
If I work in there, if
Yeah.
I work there,
We can put it here. If I worked there, comma, I would.
I would have not cold.
I would be very cold. All right. I guess in Guayaquil, you're not accustomed to the cold, right?
It's very hot.
Yeah, the opposite. Very, very hot in Guayaquil. All right. Very good. Have you ever been to the snow, Celine? Have you ever seen snow?
No, I never
Never?
seen
Okay.
the snow.
All right. Let's go with number 2, Celine. So number 2, if I worked there, what do you think the conditions would be like? What do you think the conditions would be like?
Mm. If I work there, I could see the snow. I practice snorkeling.
Skiing, right? Skiing.
Okay.
If I worked there, I would practice skiing because snorkeling is in the water, right? You snorkel in the water. Very good. I don't think you don't want to go swimming here, Celine. That would be very, very cold. All right, very good. Excellent, Celine. So this is these are conditionals for unreal situations, okay? All right, let's erase, and we're almost finished, Celine. Just a couple more minutes, okay?
Okay.
It says, I wish. So I wish is always going to be followed by, oops. I wish is always going to be followed by the simple past. So let's read the instructions here. It says complete.
Complete with a statement with a partner.
Okay, I'll do the first one as the example. I have to work long hours. I wish I didn't have to, maybe. I wish I didn't have to work such long hours. What about number 2? How can you complete number 2, Celine?
I don't have much free time. I wish I would didn't mm, I would have had
Excellent.
much free time.
Very good. I wish I had. You don't have to use much. You can actually just say more. I wish I had more free time. Okay. All right. I'll do number 3. I can't take any time off this week. I wish I
I
could.
took.
But we only changed one verb, Celine, just one verb. So I wish I could take. I wish I could take some time off next week. And then we have one more. What about number 4?
I didn't from mind to work this weekend.
Excellent. I wish I didn't promise to work this weekend. So this one is kind of easy, Celine. Just remember, it's always going to be I wish plus the simple past, okay? Any questions?
No, teacher.
Alrighty, let's move right along. We'll try to cover the last few points. Next, we have the structure. The structure is going to be the same, Celine. So here you can see that we're going to use the past. I wish I didn't have to. I wish I had. I wish I could. I wish I hadn't. Okay, so let's just continue. Here we have prohibition, permission, and obligation. So let's read the example here. It says complete.
Complete the explanations for each sign. More than one answer may be possible.
Excellent. So when we want to use prohibition, you can say must, not, or can not, right? Permission, you can say can. Obligation, you can say have to, something like that, right? Or maybe here in permission, maybe you could say you may, you can, etc. All right, so how can we complete number 1? How can we complete number 1? You
must not.
Yeah, very good.
You must not eat or drink here.
Excellent. You must not oops, it's already there, sorry. You must not eat or drink here. What about the next one? You are not
Mm,
maybe we could put something here like
are not. Can.
allowed. We can always use allowed.
Um, mm,
And we can also use maybe should. Let's put should here because should is also important if it's a recommendation, okay?
okay. Yeah. You are not should to eat or drink here.
Okay, but if it's going to be should, it would be shouldn't, okay? So it can't be shouldn't because shouldn't go, the negation goes after should not, okay? So for this one,
Teacher,
yeah,
in the you are not shouldn't. I don't understand.
okay. The correct order is backwards. So the correct order is you should not eat or drink here. This would be the correct sentence here, okay? But because we have the verb to be, here we have the verb to be, we cannot use should, okay? Should is always after the subject. So this right here, this cannot be a possible answer. We're going to eliminate this. And instead, with the verb to be, we're going to use allowed, right? You are not allowed to eat or drink here. Okay?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
All right. What about number 2?
You can park here.
Yeah, you can park here. What about the other possibility? You are
may.
that one would be here. You may,
Okay.
you can, or you may park here. With the verb to be, remember the verb to be is always going to be with allowed, okay? So you are allowed to park here.
Okay.
Okay? Always focus on the verb to be. As soon as you see the verb to be, it can't be should, it can't be may, it can't be must, never with the verb to be, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What about number 3? You
you have to wear a hard hat here.
excellent. Very good. And then number 3.
You are allowed.
Very good. What else could it be? You are allowed to wear a hard hat here. Yeah. You are, yeah, I guess there's no other options. All right, so remember we have different verbs for prohibition, permission, and obligation, okay?
Yeah. Teacher,
All right, yes.
can I use supposed to?
Oh, yeah, excellent. I didn't think about that. You are supposed to. Absolutely.
Okay.
So when we have the verb to be, is, what happened there? Is, are, maybe we can use allowed and supposed to, okay? Those can be our two options when it comes to the verb to be, okay? Any other questions?
No, teacher.
All
Thank
right. You're welcome. Let's erase, and we have the next one. Here you have, oh, here, required, supposed to. Here you have the two options that you can see. You are required or supposed to, okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's clear, and we have the next one. This is the same, so we're gonna skip this so we can do the next one. This is still prohibition, permission, and obligation, but now it's going to be the past. So how do we make this into the past? By doing this. Here, you can see that to make the past, we just have to change the verb form. So can now changes to could. Am allowed changes to were allowed. Had to, have to. Are or were required, etc., and so forth, okay? Is that okay, Celine? Any questions?
Yes, teacher. I'm okay.
All right, so we're gonna erase and we'll continue because that's very similar. What about past unreal conditionals? So for past unreal conditionals, it's going to be this one here. Let's read the number one that we have here. Can you read number one, Celine? If Newton.
Yeah. If Newton hadn't been under an apple tree, he would not have discovered gravity.
Okay, so for unreal conditionals in the past, we're going to use the past perfect. So had plus been, and then we're going to use would plus have plus the past participle, okay? Here we have another example that says, if Fleming hadn't added bacteria to the Petri dish, he wouldn't have discovered penicillin. So again, had added, would have discovered. What about this one here?
As Spencer might now have discovered the microwave if a candy bar had not melted in this pocket.
Excellent, very good. So here we have pronunciation. Celine, this is microwave, microwave.
Microwave.
Excellent, microwave. All right, so let's put this to practice. Here, you can see the examples. So let's take a look at the examples that we have here. And it says, if she hadn't left home late, she would have sat in that traffic jam. How can we complete this example here? Can you complete this example here? This one here. If she had charged her phone.
If she had charged her phone, she wouldn't
Wouldn't have.
call your family.
She wouldn't have called her.
Her family.
I can't hear that last part, Celine. She wouldn't have called her.
Her family.
Oh,
Or
family. Sorry. Very good.
family.
Family. All right. Exactly. So if she hadn't charged her phone, she wouldn't have called her family. Just remember to always use would plus have and then plus the past participle, okay? Let's see if we can come up with one example. Celine, let's do imagination that we're in the future, okay? So if you hadn't come to class today, you wouldn't. Now imagine we're in the future, okay? We're not, it's not,
Yeah.
so if you hadn't come to class today, you wouldn't have passed the final exam, right? If you wouldn't have come to class today, you wouldn't have passed the final exam. Can you think of an example?
Mm,
Hadn't come, wouldn't have.
mm. I do.
Mhm. Think of one example. So if
If I uh,
if I
if I if I had got early got up
excellent.
early, I wouldn't have did my homework.
Very good. If I had got up early, well, that doesn't make too much sense now, does it? So maybe the backwards. If I hadn't got up early, I wouldn't have done my homework, right?
Okay.
I wouldn't have done my homework. So now it makes more sense, right? Because you got up early, you were able to do your homework, okay?
Yeah.
Any
Thank you.
questions, Celine? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. And the last thing, Celine, I promise this is the last one, okay? The last one for today is going to be gerund and infinitive after forget, remember, and stop. Always, when you have these verbs, forget, remember, and stop, we have to make sure that we use the gerund and infinitive after them. For example, let's take a look at the sentences. It says, choose the correct form to complete the text. Let's go here and read the first one. I'll never forget. Okay.
Missing.
I'll never forget meeting. Very good. My roommate.
For the first time, I was so nervous. I remember thinking,
Perfect.
what if she doesn't like me? But we'd go on so well that we just couldn't stop um, um, to talk or
This one is going to be normal talking. We couldn't stop talking. Now she's my best friend.
She is always help me remember having
So
in
this one is
my
different. This one is remembers, helps me remember to hand in. Okay, so this one is helps me to hand in.
teacher.
Yes.
What is the difference? You can use to verb form and gerund and infinitive.
Gerund. Yeah. So here, what you want to do is you want to focus on the verb, right? So I remember thinking, she always helps me remember. I guess the difference here is going to be always. Because we have always remembers me, it's going to be the regular form. So here we have remember, and we have the ing, so this is correct. This is fine. Forget meeting, this is correct. But here, in this example, it's like something that's a habit or something that happens over and over again. So she always helps me remember to hand in my assignments. This is, if we were to say, for example, this one here, if we were to say, yes.
It's like a routine.
Kind of like a routine, exactly.
Okay.
So if you say a routine with the ing, then it doesn't make sense. It's not correct. So because it says always, we're actually going to use to hand, okay? Does that make sense? Kind of, Celine?
Yeah, so.
Okay. I think I have another example here for you that I can show you, okay? But let's finish here and then we'll talk about that. She never.
Yeah. She never forget to buy
Excellent.
the groceries or to keep the kitchen clean.
Excellent. So Celine, here, once we start with to, we have to continue with to. So never switch to by keeping, never combine ing and to. So in this case, to buy, to keep in one sentence, okay?
Okay.
What about this one? If I stop.
Yeah. If I stop thinking about it, she's pretty much the perfect roommate.
Okay, so here I think this is going to help you understand. This is going to help you understand a little bit, okay? So when you use forget, remember, and stop, they're going to have two different meanings, or normally going to have two different meanings. For example, stop. If we say stop to think, this is going to be parar para pensar. Entonces, si yo pienso, si yo paro y pienso, ella es la perfecta compañera de casa. Ahora, si traducimos el thinking, va a cambiar el significado y dice, if I stop thinking, si yo dejo pensando, and it's just like, that doesn't sound right. Okay? So you have to make sure that you're kind of do the translation. Do the translation literally and see which one
Okay.
makes sense. So for example here, she always helps me remember to hand. Ella siempre me recuerda para entregar mis deberes a tiempo, o ella siempre me recuerda entregando mis deberes a tiempo. So you have to think, is it going to be to hand or hand in? Okay. Does that make sense, Celine? Kind of? Hello?
Sorry, teacher. Yes.
Okay. That makes more sense, right? So try to translate it and see which one makes more sense, okay? When you say to, it's una pausa, it's a stop to do something. And then ing just has different meanings, so be careful. Any questions, Celine?
No,
All right,
I
Celine.
understand.
Make sure to practice, okay? Definitely for this
Yeah.
one. Practice here so you can get more comfortable, okay, Celine? Thank you so
Yes.
much for your participation. You did an excellent job. Now I'm going to ask you for two things.